There is a quiet shift that happens in a person when they begin to act as if everything always works out for them. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. Most people around them may not even notice it at first. But internally, something powerful begins to rearrange. Because when you truly start living as if life is working in your favor, you stop moving through the world with fear as your guide. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop chasing approval. You stop trying to control every little outcome. Instead, you begin to walk through life with a quiet trust. A trust that says, no matter what happens, I will be okay. And strangely enough, the moment you begin to carry that energy, the world begins to respond to it. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because your relationship with uncertainty changes. Most people live their lives assuming that things will go wrong. They expect rejection before they even try. They expect disappointment before anything has even unfolded. They expect betrayal before someone has even shown who they are. So their energy becomes tight, guarded, anxious. They overthink every message. They analyze every interaction. They replay conversations in their mind. They try to predict every possible outcome so they won't be hurt. But the human mind was never designed to control life. It was designed to experience it. And when you spend all your energy trying to control what cannot be controlled, you slowly disconnect from your inner peace. That is why the idea of acting as if everything always works out for you is so powerful. Because it frees your mind from the exhausting illusion of control. It invites you into a different way of moving through life. A softer way, a wiser way. Imagine waking up tomorrow with one quiet decision. You decide that today, no matter what happens, things are somehow working in your favor. Even if you cannot immediately see how, even if the path is not clear yet, you simply trust that life is unfolding with intelligence far beyond your current understanding. Notice how your body feels when you imagine that. Your shoulders soften. Your breath slows. Your thoughts become less chaotic because the mind relaxes when it no longer feels responsible for forcing every outcome. This does not mean you become passive. It does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop fighting life. You stop gripping every situation with fear, and instead, you participate with calm confidence. You speak honestly. You set boundaries. You pursue what feels meaningful, but you release the desperate need to control how everything unfolds. You begin to understand something profound about human psychology. People can feel when someone is trying too hard to force life. They feel the pressure. They feel the anxiety behind the smile. They sense the fear of losing them. But when someone carries the quiet energy of everything works out for me, something shifts. Their presence feels lighter, safer, more grounded, because they are no longer demanding outcomes from the world. They are allowing life to breathe. And ironically, this is when many doors begin to open. Not because you manipulated life into submission, but because you stopped resisting its natural flow. You begin to realize that much of human suffering comes from attachment to specific outcomes. You want that one person to stay. You want that one opportunity to work out. You want that one situation to unfold exactly the way you imagined. And when it doesn't, the mind panics. It asks, what did I do wrong? But sometimes nothing went wrong. Sometimes life simply redirected you. Sometimes the closed door is the protection you could not yet see. When you act as if everything works out for you, you develop emotional intelligence. You learn to pause before reacting. You learn to observe your thoughts instead of immediately believing them. When something unexpected happens, you take a breath. And instead of assuming disaster, you quietly say to yourself, everything is still working out for me. Maybe not in the way I imagined, but in the way I need. Allow that sentence to settle inside your mind. Everything is still working out for me. Feel the calm that comes with it. This belief does not make you naive. It makes you resilient, because resilience is not the ability to avoid difficulty. It is the ability to trust yourself through it. You begin to understand that your worth is not determined by temporary outcomes. A rejection does not define you. A delay does not diminish you. A misunderstanding does not erase your value. Life is full of seasons. Some seasons teach patience. Some seasons teach boundaries. Some seasons teach letting go. But every season shapes your character. And when you trust that everything is working out, you allow those lessons to unfold without unnecessary suffering. Right now, take a quiet moment to repeat this affirmation slowly in your mind. Everything is always working out for me, even when I cannot see the full picture, even when things feel uncertain. Life is unfolding in my favor. Let those words sink deeper, because what you repeatedly tell your mind becomes the emotional environment you live in. If you constantly tell yourself that life is against you, your nervous system will live in survival mode. But if you gently train your mind to trust life, your entire inner world begins to soften. You start noticing opportunities you once overlooked. You respond to challenges with creativity instead of panic. You treat people with calm respect instead of defensive fear. And something beautiful begins to happen. You stop chasing validation from the outside world. You start respecting yourself from the inside. Self-respect grows when you stop begging life to behave the way you want. Instead, you stand firmly in who you are. You speak truthfully. You honor your energy. You walk away from situations that require you to abandon yourself. And you trust that what leaves is making space for something aligned. Human beings often struggle with letting go. We hold on to relationships that have already taught us their lesson. We hold on to expectations that no longer match reality. We hold on to versions of ourselves that we have outgrown. But acting as if everything works out for you requires a quiet form of courage. The courage to release what is no longer meant for you. Not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with understanding. Because when you truly believe life is working in your favor, you no longer see endings as failures. You see them as transitions. And transitions are how growth happens. Think about the moments in your life that once felt like disappointments, moments when things did not go according to plan. At the time, it may have felt painful, confusing, even unfair. But later, you may have realized something unexpected. That moment changed your path in a way that eventually helped you grow. Maybe it taught you strength. Maybe it showed you your true priorities. Maybe it introduced you to people you would have never met otherwise. Life has a mysterious way of weaving meaning into experiences that initially seem random. And when you start acting as if everything works out for you, you begin trusting that invisible intelligence. You stop demanding immediate answers. You allow time to reveal what you cannot yet understand. Take a breath now and quietly affirm, life supports me in ways I am still discovering. Every challenge is shaping me into a wiser version of myself. I trust the unfolding of my life. Let this affirmation settle into your heart. There is another beautiful shift that happens when you trust that things work out. You stop competing with other people's timelines. Human beings often compare their journey to the journeys of others. They look at someone else's success, someone else's relationship, someone else's achievements, and they begin to feel behind. But life does not move according to comparison. It moves according to alignment. When you act as if everything works out for you, you understand that your timing is unique. Your path is unfolding at the pace your soul requires. And there is peace in accepting that. Peace allows you to move through life with grace instead of urgency. You begin to focus on the quality of your inner state rather than the speed of your external progress. You realize that a calm mind is more valuable than a rushed victory, because peace is the foundation of wise decisions, and wise decisions shape the future far more powerfully than anxious reactions. Now take another quiet moment to repeat a powerful affirmation. If it resonates with you, You can even type it in the comments as a reminder for yourself and for others who may read it later. Type this affirmation slowly. Everything always works out for me. And somehow, life continues to surprise me in beautiful ways. Feel the meaning behind those words. They are not a denial of difficulty. They are a declaration of trust. A declaration that no matter what unfolds, you will meet life with clarity and strength. And that trust changes the way you interact with the world. When you trust life, you become less reactive. You listen more deeply. You observe more carefully. You speak more thoughtfully, because you are no longer rushing through experiences trying to secure outcomes.